Everyone, absolutely glorious weather. It's about 17 and a half degrees, something like that there today. It is a Wednesday. So I am here today well, main job is to cut the grass. I have a visit this coming Monday with a car club, classic car club, are coming to visit. So the grass isn't very long. It's been very dry. There's been no moisture whatsoever. So this won't take me very long to cut. Hopefully it's only about I think I might get away with maybe one or two loads in the basket. Hopefully just one. Nice and quick, just run it around very quickly. Nice wee tidy up, and then just do the edges very quickly. Tiny little bit of painting to do, a little bit of the metal paint on the inside of the handle of the hatch. And then we're going to look at electrics again. I've done quite a lot of electrics recently, but we're going to look at electrics again. I've made up a cable so I can power the post from above ground with the battery. I've got some really nice new tools to show you as well, so we'll run through those very briefly. But let me get the grass cut first, and once that's out of the way, then we'll look at the electrics. So I'll be back soon. Grass finished, about 1.5. So I've only emptied it once, and it's about half full. Let me check. Well, I'm not even half full, and we have it all looking its best. So we'll look at the electrics. Now, inside here is the electrical connection to connect a generator to charge the battery. So the original way the post would have been ran during the Cold War is there would have been a petrol electric generator, and that was only used to charge the batteries. Let me lock the focus. So this is called the top hat cover. So underneath this unwinds, and inside here is a pneumatic airline to pump up the mast, the radio antenna mast, pump that up. There's also a N-type connector for the radio antenna itself, and then there's the 12 volt connection to connect the generator to charge the batteries. Now that used a connector called a Naifan plug, and anybody who knows British military vehicles, I'm sure these probably appeared in some NATO vehicles as well, but this is called a Naifan plug, 2-pin, and I have just made up a cable that connects that to a cigarette lighter. And the top hat, you can see the two holes here, two holes that goes like that. And I can't remember the last time I had this off, but it was a while ago by the looks of things. Right, let me put this down 2 seconds. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Right, that took a little bit more effort than what I thought would be required, so I'll put a bit of oil in this before I leave. But that's how this comes off. Yeah, it definitely needs a bit of oil. I can feel that rubbing a little bit, but this is how they would have got it off back in the day, with one of these tools here, with very simple bar with the two lugs on it. I've actually got quite a few of these, and this one is going to stay here. I'm going to leave this in the shed, so this will fall off in a second like that. So that's all that is, just a metal, pretty heavy lid. You can see there's a few bugs and what have you in there. I'll clear all those out, and I've got oil which I'll put on that and get those all cleaned up. And that's what inside looks like. So there's your Naifan plug, there's your pneumatic airline, and there's your N-type to do all that. Let's unlock the focus just in case that's not focus for you all. I'll lock it again. So that's that. Right, so there's the plug. Make sure it is the way I want it to be. So you can see there, one is larger than the other. That corresponds obviously to this. So the larger one is the positive, smaller one is the negative. Let's get them lined up. That's it plugged in, and then you turn it. That locks it in place. I won't do it ridiculously tight. Finger tight's fine. So that does that. So that's now connected. And then this is not how they would have had it originally. They would have had crocodile clips that would have connected onto the generator. Some had ring terminals as well to connect it on. So there's the plug for the post. Here's the battery. This just means that I can keep the battery on the surface, and I can even hook it up to the solar panel so that the battery is being charged while it's being used, or bring a small portable panel if I wanted to. So which one will I use? Right, we will use the Anderson power pole. So there's the Anderson power pole connected, and then if I connect this up, we should hopefully get a red LED. And we are. So hopefully you can see the red LED there, which means that the post is now getting power. So if we go down below ground now, we'll be getting electricity. So we'll do that 100% live. So I'll climb down the ladder. As I get a message there on my phone. Hopefully you didn't, you might have heard the ping, but sure, it's live. Right, let's climb down the ladder and see if we're getting electric. Put my sunglasses there. So we should be getting 12 volt then on everything below ground. I think the last time I was here I might have turned all the lights off, so hopefully it's dark when we walk in through the door. Okay, so this is all 100% live. I haven't done this before. Oh, there we go, the lights are working. And we are getting green light. We're getting a green light and we're getting 13.2 volts on the LifePo 4 battery, lithium battery. And there we go, we're getting full electrics down here, and that is all running through that cable there. So that's the cable that runs up to the knife fan. That one's all the way around, down here, through the battery change switch, and then down into the battery box. And that's giving us all the 12 volt power we need. And if we had two sets of batteries, so originally they would have a set of batteries for the post. Because we were a master post, we had a radio, so we would have had a second battery. You can actually charge both batteries independently. So you can run both batteries, or you can switch over to the radio, or you can switch over to just the post battery. And then that works out which battery is getting charged. So you can use one while charging the other, and that's the way it works. And brilliant. That's exactly what I wanted. So now that's completely safe. There is now absolutely nothing down here which can go bang. And if I'm charging that lithium battery via solar, there's less risk of there being a fire down here. So that's working perfectly, exactly what I wanted. Now, there's only one little change I wanted to make in here. Because the battery's now on the surface, if I wanted to split the power and have power for the warning speaker as well as the lights, obviously I've two cigarette lighter plugs for that. I need to put a spare cigarette lighter socket in there. So I have to wire in a socket, and that way the WB warning speaker has somewhere to plug into. So I'll get that wired up and get that out of the way. But at least that's done, and it was, very, very easy. I made that cable up, didn't take me long. Those knife fan sockets are incredibly rare. I've had a sort of a search saved on eBay for about 15 years, and I've only ever seen two for sale in that time. So they are incredibly rare. So I do have two of them. I didn't buy the two that were on eBay. A friend of mine got one and I took the other, but they are incredibly rare, and I'm lucky enough to have two of them. So I'll use one of those wired up. One that's wired up exactly as it would have been for the generator set, and I will keep that other one wired up to use with the post lighting. But that makes it so much easier, especially if the battery runs out on the surface during an open day. It's very, very easy just to swap over to a brand new battery. Not that it ever has happened, but you never know in the future. Right, there you go. That was one take. What movie was done in one take? Quite a few movies have these one take shots going from the surface to go below ground. So that was all done in one take. There was no jump cuts in that. Right, let's go back up to the surface, and I want to get the paintbrush out, do a little bit of quick bit of painting, and then I will come back down below ground and get this wiring done. And I want to show you the tools as well I got, because they're pretty cool. So quick jump cut. Until I have sort of everything done that I wanted to do, I can't paint yet. I wanted to paint the top hat cover a little bit, and I have to take all the battery away for that. So I'll do that at the very, very end. So these are the new tools I bought. I went a little bit crazy and sort of bought everything. So I have, it's Wera, and they're a German company, and they make if they're a German company, they're probably called Wera. And they make lots of little screwdrivers, tools, things for electricians, engineers, a lot of stuff I would use on a day-to-day basis with work. But I thought these were pretty cool. So we've got a little set with all these little screwdrivers. And then what's cool about this is, as well as the magnetic bit holder, it also extends, and that comes out as well. And you can put that into a screwdriver if you want to, which I thought was pretty cool. So I got one of those. And that's something I would use something like that on a daily basis. In the front here of this box, we just have general bits and pieces. So there's general bits and bobs in there that I would use. And then up top, I've got all the bits that I want to use today. So there's the cigarette lighter sockets for downstairs. Some small paint brushes for the amount of painting I need to do. There was no point in bringing something huge. I've got this as well to replace what's downstairs. I noticed it was getting a little bit rusty, so I bought a replacement just to have. I've got a 12-volt phone charger, USB-C phone charger, and that's for the shed, just to charge my phone quickly when I'm here. And I've got my electrical stuff, and then I've got a quite awesome basket of screwdrivers. And they're all different types. So we've got the suicide screwdriver for doing electrical stuff. And these are chisel spanners. They're always very, very handy to have. The shaft goes right the way up through the handle, up right up the top, so you can use them for chiseling. And then just the usual stuff. There's another one of those. This is a ratchet version. That'll focus. So we've actually got a ratchet version, which is pretty cool. So all different types of screwdrivers in there. That just slides in. A nice bit of electrician's scissors there. And then there's the oil. It's the Bulldog BDX. Anybody who restores classic cars probably knows about this stuff. Or engineering, Bulldog BDX. That's the daddy of lubricants. Stick that in there. And we have a small set of screwdrivers. And then this kit here, I can get it off with one hand. This kit is awesome. Will you see this? Look at that for a kit. So we've got all different types, torque screws, or torque bits. We've got Phillips, we've got flathead, we've got bits, and they all come off by turning. And they lock in place. Smaller bits, another screwdriver which goes with these. Ratchet, really nice little ratchet, and a nice little joker spanner. And they're magnetic as well, and we've got another suicide driver. But really, really nice stuff they make, and you know, it's not cheap. Definitely wouldn't call the Wear stuff cheap. But I got some really good deals on it, and with the Amazon sort of paying 3 and paying 4 and what have you, I was able to sort of split these over a couple of months, and it made it a lot better. But yeah, that full toolkit, everything I need, a couple of £100, and they're pretty awesome. And if Vera, anybody from the company is watching this, yes, I would love to test some of your other bits and pieces. If you would like either to sponsor the channel or send me lots more tools, even though I've bought quite a few of them already. Right, okay, let's get these little bits of wiring done, and I can get the battery disconnected and get the painting done, and I can go away and get some lunch. Right, back soon. Turn the torch on so it's a little bit easier to see. So you can see now that the power is coming from above ground. That is what I usually plug in to the battery. So you can see that that is actually live. So we want that away out of the way. That is the connection that goes to the warning speaker. It powers all the MP3 player and what have you. So I want to have a connection that comes out of the wiring above ground and gives a cigarette socket, and that can plug into this. So we'll do that now. The wiring is hidden underneath here. I'll pull that out very, very easily and get it connected up, and that will give us power then to the WB. So give me 2 seconds. Socket's fitted, easy peasy. Just got it into the original wiring, and it all does what it's supposed to. So we don't plug that into that because that creates a feedback loop. But there you go. So that's the MP3 player all working. That's fine. That's all I needed to do. So I can either put the battery down here or above ground, and everything works. And that's all I wanted to do down here. Very, very quick, simple piece of wiring. And yeah, all good. It feels lovely down here. Okay, it's 77% humidity, but it actually feels really, really nice. It's nice and cool. It's not as warm, definitely not as warm down here as it is above ground. In fact, it's about 10 degrees colder down here, believe it or not. It's nice and warm day today. So lovely. Right, let's get back above ground. We'll get the battery all taken off, and we'll get all the bits that I wanted to paint painted. And that'll be me for... Get this BDX out first. And then I'll disconnect the battery. So I'll take off the Anderson Power Pro first. So that's that done. That's that taken apart. Take that off. That can go in there. Keep that nice and safe. That's the battery done. Take off the knife fan. That lives here at the post. So it does, so that can stay here. Clear out any rubbish that's in there. Mostly spiders' webs. Right, so what I want to do is spray this. So you can see there, that bit of paint. I've obviously been sticking it on, so I'll get that off. I think I took a nick out of this a couple of weeks ago with the lawnmower. Yeah, I can feel it, there it is there. Bit of peeling, not too bad. Right, let's give this a spray. Just stop it from rusting. And let's go on easy. So I'll try to do this with one hand. It's not the easiest thing to do. Definitely not the easiest thing to do. Right, okay, there you go. Look at that. Look at the difference with the BDX. And what I'll do is I'll take it up to about there, and then I'll just spray some. Let some run around the treads. And if the people who make BDX are watching this, I will take some free cans of this as well. You've got to do it. You've got to ask for freebies. If you don't ask, you don't get. Bulldog BDX is the best penetrating fluid. It's incredible. You know, as it says on it, lubricate, release, restore, protect. I have taken rust off with this. I have protected tools with this. I have released things, bolts that you would never believe with this before, and then lubricating as well, which I'm doing now. Absolutely incredible stuff. Bulldog BDX. Really, really good. Right, so there we go. We have taken something that was completely stuck and now it practically turn it easy peasy. So we'll just do it so it's hand tight. It doesn't need to be crazy tight. I reckon that's enough. I'll be able to take it off with 2 hands. So that's perfect. That is now done. So I can do this little bit of painting. You can see here a little bit of flake, and there's a little bit on the hatch. So I'll get those done, and then I'll be back soon just for final thoughts. That's everything done. So I accomplished everything I wanted to do today. Not that it was very difficult at all. Got the wiring done, above ground and below ground. Painting done, grass cut. I was able to use the solar power to charge my leaf blower battery with the inverter that I got. I was able to do all that, which was really, really good. So I charged the battery up while I was cutting the grass, and I was able to blow the grass. So that was all naturally sourced power, which I'm pretty happy about. And I'll probably do maybe cut a bit of this actually as well, just to have it neat for everyone coming. But that's everything done. Just have to turn the camera back on so that I'm not setting it off every 2 seconds, moving about. So I'll reset the PIR. I'll double check the solar panel is on and working. You probably can't see the green light, but there's a little green light there just letting me know the solar panel is on and working. Right, well that's everything. So, hope you enjoyed that one. But listen folks, as always, thank you very, very much for watching. I'll see you all again next time. Bye bye.